book, and he's like, no, you can't. But hey, you want to go on a date? And like she gets her like thing in, or I don't know, that could have maybe been fun, like turn it around.
Was the book series popular though? Because it looked like there was a lot on the table. I mean, normally when book series finish, it doesn't mean that all the books go on clearance because people are still clearly buying Harry Potter. People are still buying Lord of the Rings. People are still buying Goosebumps. So did it just sort of diminish
And
in
like, how many
quality?
of the books did they order? Because that's a lot of books on the table. I mean, I'm like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I
And
guess it's hard to know like how many editions there are also.
Waverly Prep 3.5 and 4.5 prequels, the middle school years.
Now with like graphic novel cover, anime cover. I don't know.
And I do like that Kendall in that book series is so popular that didn't she become homecoming queen of a school that she didn't even go
Yes,
to?
a neighboring school. Okay, so I love the whole, like, I mean, that young adult book sounds hysterical. It's so over the top. It's so, and I love that, they use that as her little narration throughout and kind of like her, inner thoughts that she's spilling out there because, oh my gosh, yeah, she became homecoming queen of a school she doesn't even go to.
No,
Incredible. Like, she's just amazing. And nobody will ever know how difficult it is to be so popular and so pretty. And that's also the thing. Like, she does the whole so pretty, and it's not her fault she's so pretty. But then while that narration is happening, we see her like curling her wig. That's not her hair to like put on and doing all the makeup and like it's a nice like little details that they use with the narration. I love
yeah.
the fact that it's the ghostwriter thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Like, it's not her, but she writes the books. Like, she's the writer, but it's not her. What, your name's not on the cover.
And I love the name of the titles too. Reitman had Diablo Cody just write 10 titles and send it, and I guess 40 minutes later he got really weird titles for the books. So I forget which one she was looking at, but it did not sound like a really appetizing book, the title of it. It just makes me happy. And I also love too how she reverts back to the teenage years when she's with her parents, which I think happens a lot in these movies. But
Yes.
she puts the coat back on and then she's just like,
And in real
"Mom."
life,
Yeah.
in real life, go with your friends to their parents' house and see your friends, like going back to those, like, yeah, you're just in mom and dad's house. I love that.
I think the only thing that really dates this movie it doesn't really, but I think the Wii is the only thing that maybe dates it. What do you think? Her workout? Other than that, this movie is just as relevant today as, I mean, it's only
Yeah.
11 years ago, but I don't know. But she still works out too. Like, there's a lot of interesting facets about this character's personality. I've said that, I guess you could do a drinking game of, you could eat something from Kentucky Taco Bell, Pizza Hut every time I say that she's really good. But I like
Or
those.
drink some Star Wars whiskey.
Oh, that would be
Some
horrible.
most easily.
Uh, you know what's nuts? He had that in his garage for 8 years in a mini barrel, just aging,
Right?
that he made and coopered the barrel. And it's just watching her
So
chug it and her
patience.
being a brat and just chugging it. And she knew it pissed him off. Because I'm
Yeah.
a big fan of whiskey. And so sometimes I have people over and they're like, I just chug it. And you're like, whoa. So yeah, just watching her chug that whiskey and have bring some Star Wars, but like just having no regard for him, and
Did it hurt, Mark?
she steamrolls him too. Like remember when he says, she's like showing herself to him, but then he's like, yeah, guys like me are meant to love you. Like he becomes her sort of puppy dog at that scene,
Yeah.
and then she leaves him. Same arm motion as the other guy, which is interesting. They just kind of trap her there, but it's Oswald's really good. He did a lot of, like you said, Reitman said that he learned how to walk. He learned how to make toys. He learned about whiskey. Like he did so they did readings at Reitman's house. Reitman's famous for doing readings at his home. And I guess the people who did the first couple readings were Patton Oswalt and Colette Wolfe. And then eventually they got hired when they did one with a reading with Charlize, and I guess they all had so much chemistry. They were just helping out with the readings, but then they got hired for the roles, which I thought was pretty cool. Yeah, but the sister's good too. Megan was watching it, and Colette Wolfe as Sandra, she's so used to her from Hot Tub Time Machine.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's weird seeing her like this, because in Hot Tub Time Machine, she's kind of a maniac, and I love it. So I kind of miss, what is she doing nowadays? I haven't seen her around much, but I like her a lot in this movie. She's just very earnest, and then she gets burned. That burn she gets hit with. Oh, she was also in Observe and Report. Have you watched that movie?
I did. I can't remember it though.
Yeah, when
I watched it and I immediately forgot about it.
Seth Rogen is a bipolar
Was one of
cop.
those for me. Yeah.
People weren't ready for that.
Yeah, it was really memorable for me at the time. But yeah, no, I love Colette. What I love about her character though is when Charlize, like, when she goes to the house, and Colette opens the door and she does that whole, Matt, don't you remember me? That whole thing that always happens, you know, when like the popular kids from school and they meet the other kids that they can't remember or whatever. But I love it because Colette's like, yeah, what did she say? She had to secretly put lemon squares or something in a locker, some cookie thing or something. And I'm like, okay, but how is she supposed to remember you through that? Like, I thought that was very clever because that was subverting the whole trope of popular girl doesn't remember you. Plus, we already did that earlier in the movie when she did that with Matt. So then with his sister, it's like, don't you remember me? But then, yeah, how would she remember you for secretly putting something in her locker for the principal? Like, it wasn't even like coming from her. The school told. I can't remember that exactly now, but it was this weird thing. Like, I thought that was pretty funny. Like, it's subverting the trope a little.
You don't remember me because I secretly put your stuff in there? Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, right? When I watched it again, I laughed at that bit specifically because I'm like, yeah, you see, some people also, they'll be like, why don't you remember me? And it's like, well, why would you? Because, you know, it's funny how you think you should be significant to someone else. But then when you didn't have a relationship, then what claim do you really now have for being remembered? You know, I like that little bit. It makes you think about it differently. It's, again, adding another layer to stupid high school.
What did you think about Mavis watching so much reality television? They put a big...
Oh, yeah, daytime talk shows. Like, that's what she does. She gets up, get over her hangover, writes a little, and then watch daytime TV.
I guess, do you think it's passive watching when you watch daytime TV? You don't really... It's probably... you can go in and out of it?
I read I did the thing 2 years ago about, like, our viewing habits. So I did some research on, like, interesting stuff that they've done, like, you know, researching viewing habits and, like, people prone to certain things. And like reality shows and stuff, it's a lot like of, you know, more people that don't really like get out much, don't really have like big social circles, more introverted type of people. So like, I think that was just like, yeah, Mavis not really having a life outside of writing. So that's what she does, you know, and then she goes and drink and she hooks up with a random dude. She doesn't even go drinking with friends. She's only got Vicky. I'm judging Vicky too hard. Sorry, Vicky.
I think she's afraid of Mavis, though. I think she
also, Vicky needs to backbone it a little. Come on, Vicky. I mean, you're also not helping or being complicit. So, you know, come on, girl.
Do you think Mavis does that on purpose, though? Kind of hanging out with those types that she can steamroll?
Probably. Like, narcissists do that. They surround themselves with people they know they can control. Like, because that's the thing with narcissists, they need to feel like they're in control. If they don't, yikes, it gets bad. They freak out, like the climax, for instance. And I think that's also a thing. Like, we talk about narcissism and the whole thing, and like society in general has started talking about those type of things more. But like, I think a lot of times people forget that it's also just like sad people with issues. Like, it's very difficult to be around them because they do tend to disregard everyone else. But they're also sad people, like, and with sad lives and stuff. Um, I think, yeah, there's still humanity in there, um,
Hmm.
even if it's just for the best of the world. But yeah, I don't know.
Such a good movie.
It's so good. I love it.
I'm telling you, I said in the beginning of the episode, I'm saying it again. I remember watching this and just, it's so rare that you and I, or at least I can't speak for you, but for me, when I watch something and I just feel like I haven't seen it before. And
Yeah,
I think, listen, that's not me
it's
hating on,
special.
yeah, that's not me hating on sequels or reboots or prequels because they've existed since cinema existed. So I've
Oh
accepted
yeah.
that. So I'm not really saying that, but like when I see something that I feel I've never witnessed as a character on screen, and that's why I think this movie's so special to me because. I mean, I don't have a poster on my wall, but I just remember the feeling I had watching it, just thinking this is an original. This is something cool that and it kept subverting expectations. And I think I went into it thinking a little bit that was going to be sort of like a Diablo Cody-esque movie. And it wasn't that at all. So it was just such a pleasant experience for me to watch. And also P-Dub is in it. I'm a big Patrick Wilson fan, so that's cool. That
Oh
makes me
yeah, of
happy.
course.
But yeah,
I
no, I mean, any other final thoughts about this movie? Any other things that we haven't talked about yet? Her Ringer
think we
t-shirts?
covered most. Yeah, like yeah, I love like her wardrobe in general. I love the little outfit she chooses for the big party
Oh
in the
gosh.
evening.
Yeah.
She looks like total like church lady with I'm coming with my basket of biscuits. Like
And a hair bun and barf bags. And it's just,
amazing.
and then she looked like the rocker that one time. And then in the beginning, when they met at the bar, she had the dress. Like she has disguises, I guess, that she tries to adapt.
Yeah. That she tries to fit in exactly. Like because she doesn't it's almost like she doesn't really know how else to be. Like she doesn't have this authentic personality almost like it's like she knows it. So I think it was funny like that she's a ghostwriter too, it fits,
Oh
it's all
crap.
part of it, yeah, exactly. Like and she'll adapt to, okay, I'm going to a rock concert, so I'm going to dress like a rock star, or I'm going to like this, but baby was born like after a birth baby shower, I guess, post baby shower vibe, whatever. And like, okay, I'm going to dress like a church lady. Or she has these ideas of even just, I love how well, the first time she talks to Buddy over the phone is when she's outside of the bar and he calls her, she answers, and her voice changes immediately. Charlize is
Mm.
so freaking good in this. Her voice changes immediately. Like, I mean, when she meets him in the bar, that's a whole thing. Like, her face and
Hmm.
everything changes. But even just with the phone call, she's like, hey, buddy. Like, it immediately goes up a pitch a bit higher, talking a bit higher. Um, it's just so great. Like, and
Hmm.
then yeah, when she goes to her mom and dad and the way she talks to them, it's
And her body language is so frumped over in her chair. Makes me happy. And I love when
so
she's like,
good.
"Hey, how about 8?" And he's like, "Yeah, how about 6?"
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, she immediately adapts to that.
Immediately adapts. Yeah, and that's sad. That's
Yeah,
that's why it's a tragic comedy.
and it is, but it's not. I don't think this movie's ever making fun of her. It's such a, and you look at
No,
the
you
promotional
feel for
materials.
her. You feel like Beth. Well, I feel like Beth. Like she's sad, and you kind of want to help her, like
Oh, that'd
because
be so
she's
tough.
sad.
But I hate the posters too. It's like everyone gets old, not everyone grows up. That's the tagline. And Charlize Theron wearing her
Yeah.
Hello Kitty shirt, looking sassy. It's not that at all. Is she stuck? Like, I don't think she's stuck in Arrested Development. I just think she is not well. Does that
I I think